Master? Me? This can't be. All dead. And the tattoo. Oh, no!
The year was 2003, and the gaming industry would be graced with a game called Drake of the 99 Dragons. A game that was called Frightfully Bad, a cacophony of terrible effects and voice acting. Smegma. The reason I bring up this infamous title isn't because of anything to do with how bad it is, it's because I want to talk about those pretty pair of pistols, and even more specifically, I want to talk about how they impacted one of the most memorable first-person shooters in history. Hello people, I'm Tommy, and when you think about the best weapons in Counter-Strike, you may think of something like the AWP, the AK-47, or even the Glock. But I'm here to tell you the truth. As somebody who's never left silver in competitive, my voice is absolute. So let's get ready to talk about the history of the best weapons in Counter-Strike, the Dual Berettas, also known as Dualies. Welcome to Counter-Strike 1.6, our starting point and the birthplace of the Dualies. And what a humble start our twin-pistoled friend had, because back in the day, Dualies were not accessible to all walks of life. Back then, you could log in a Counter-Strike and only have a 50% chance of being able to wield such respectable firearms, because back then, only the terrorists had access to these things. Unlike the golden age we live in, where dualies can be acquired by anyone regardless of their social class, religion, or toilet paper orientation belief, the correct answer is under orientation, by the way, you had to play as the bomb-planting, hostage-holding, rush-being T-side. You may then ask, Tommy, how could the counter-terrorist forces compete when the terrorists were the only side that had dualies? Well, let's just take these dualies online and see their skills put to the test. Although this is the first time we see dualies, this isn't peak performance dualies. I wouldn't say that these things suck in Counter-Strike 1.7, just that the gameplay choices of the time have not necessarily developed in the dualies' advantage. If you want to spray and pray with these guns, you most certainly can attempt that, because that's what these things are for in this game, but looking back, these dualies are inferior to the ones we have today. And that statement rings true with Condition Zero, as these dualies are pretty much the same. The only thing I can really say about this game is that in the game's mission mode, Bot Lunatic's preferred secondary weapon is the dualies, so that's pretty cool. And ending our classic Counter-Strike era is the Xbox port. Now, I've talked about this game in detail in the past, and the dualies in this game are all about spraying the walls with bullet holes, because just like in the other two, it's all about bad accuracy, good fire rate, and that's pretty much what dualies are in this era. We've talked about the childhood years of the twins here, weak, but they still had potential to grow. So welcome to Counter-Strike Source. This is where the dualies went from cupcakes to beefcakes. This is peak dual Berettas. Better damage, better accuracy, spray and pray or wait and bait, the possibilities are endless with these things. Honestly, why are there even any other weapons in this game when you've got the Berettas? And that low cost too truly shows that the dualies aren't weapons for the global elite. These pistols were made for the common man, a hard-working man, a real man. So with all that discussed, let's get into an online match and display our might.
Don't worry about it.
You know, it really is a shame that because the enemy team knows how good the dualies are, they have to resort to hacking in order to compete with such powerful pistols. So powerful, in fact, that this is where Valve would realize that their sorcery had gotten the better of them when they had constructed these devilishly destructive dualies. So in their next game, Valve had no choice but to put a stop to it. In Counter-Strike Global Offensive, Aztec was removed, which is only like the 4th worst decision in human history, but in exchange for that, the dualies were now open to the masses. Didn't matter if you were a terrorist or a counter-terrorist, because all were now welcome to wield the power of these weapons. Unfortunately, the Dualies have aged since their days in CS Source, now dealing less damage and being much weaker. But hey, that doesn't mean they're as bad as their old days. You can still kick ass with these things, and that extends further into CS2, because the Dualies are exactly the same. All that's left is now gambling and never obtaining anything good, so you just buy a pair of StatTrak Dualies off the marketplace, and now you have finally reached peace. Thank you for listening to my propaganda, and I hope this program has indoctrinated you into the belief of the dual Berettas. Now, I leave you with this final piece of footage of showing you Dualies in action.
Gotcha.
Damn. Shit, dude. I almost got away.
Can I be honest? I suck at using the USP.
Holy
I can never
shit.
get
That's
kills with
fucking
any
Dualies right there. The worst Dualies play, right fucking
The
there.
Dualies feel, or not Dualies. The USP feels like it has so much recoil.
Look,
Like, I
when you
feel
get
like
when you
I'm-
get a
I'm
kill with a Dualie,
aiming
you
at
feel
them,
like
and
a
it just
god.
doesn't-
You do.
It just doesn't.
Mom,
It's
come
'cause
here.
you have
Mom,
fluid
mom,
now.
mom. I got kill with Dualies.
Who is this
These are these. I killed. See, I got a stat track on here. You know that's cool, right?
Mom, I executed a man this morning.
See,
That guy's not. Oh,
are you ready,
Yeah,
mom?
guys,
Are you ready?
fucking awesome.
I'm on B point, mom. All right, I'm defending from the bomb. See,
Oh,
see, I
Mom,
killed someone with a
rushing
dualie. Killed
B.
someone with dualies. That's all that matters.